Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope everything's well with you. As you can see, this is my completed swipe pour. I haven't done a pour in I don't know how long, but I did do one. Okay, I did varnish it. It is completely dry. I have it zoomed in. I'm gonna pan it up and down so you guys can see it up close. All right, if I don't tear anything up, I shouldn't. But this is toward the bottom. You guys see it now. This is upside down, so I swiped it that way, up this way. So I swiped it. But anyway, I'll gently just slowly put it up there. You guys can see all of what I did with it. I'll straighten it up as it gets to the top. It's going to get a little obscure when it gets to the top there. You can see how it gets lighter and lighter up there. More that way there. Even it that way. So you guys can see it. I'm going to have to switch it the other way when it goes back down. But you guys get to see it up close. See all what's going on with it. These are all the colors I had in my bottle for a few years. And I stirred them up and made a layered. I layered them on the base coat, and then nice gentle swipe across. Now I have a radio. Okay, that's the bottom. I think we're pretty much set. I'll keep it right about toward the edge here and center it a little bit. I'm gonna probably end up going up a bit because of what I'm going to do, so I'll just pull it back. But that should be okay. Let me look at the monitor. A little off. All right, something like that. All right. Yeah, it'll look all right. Okay, like I said, I did swipe it. It's turned upside down because I wanted this to go in upward direction. We're gonna do something with this darkness. I'm gonna put some very long, tall pines on here. And I'm contemplating either on a cabin in the little field back here or not. But when I paint on a pour, I don't really have to do too much. But what I do paint will have to be pretty detailed and use colors to make it stand out a little more. All right, because you're fighting with a whole bunch of everything going on with this. Okay, so hey, D and Roxy, how you doing, D? So there's D, Mo, Sonia, Madonna, hello, Rosemary, hello, and Mo. So yeah, it's like I said, I took a paper towel once I put all the colors on there, and I mainly put them here, and then went this way with it. All right, I put a couple over here. And then I'll just put the towel on it and just drag it. All right, and it is what you see right here. All right, it took about, I don't know, maybe 14 hours for it to dry or so. Okay, then I finally varnished it. You can paint with acrylics on varnish, no big deal. You can do it. Acrylic paint will paint on anything, so yes, you can paint on a varnished piece. Okay, and it'll be varnished again once I put the painting on here. Okay, but I will pull back a wee bit so you guys can see what I do with it. All right, on our lower right we have blue, brown, green, black, yellow, and white. I'm not going to go through all the technical whatever names for it. Okay, and let's see if I can pull this back. That might be just enough right there. Let's pull this down. When I say down, I mean up. The camera has to go up. I have to look at the other screen to make sure I got it about right. I think that's cool. All right, let's hit the focus on it real quick. Good thing about a touch screen. All right. and it has to be straightened because it is crooked. That should be just about okay. All right, we're going to start our forest, not from the direct bottom, but we'll start it all up in here and then go upward. They're going to be very lanky, lean trees. I might not have it go all the way up to the top. It all depends on how I feel. But they'll be very long pines, and I'll maybe make a few here, and the taller ones will be up here, and it'll just taper downward. Okay, then I'll contemplate on a cabin. It looks like I'm gonna strongly put a cabin here, and then we'll put some grasses in it, and then that will be that. Really, because I have a background doing a little bit of everything in here, I'm gonna try to incorporate the art so it fits with this. Okay, so it looks like it belongs. All right, and this is what I usually like to do with a pour. You know, it really depends on how the pour looks, particularly when it dries. Now, if you guys know, if you visited my Facebook page, you've seen what it looks like wet, and you've seen what it looks like dry. Not really too much of a change with this. Okay, so it pretty much stayed true to what it looked when it was wet, which was great. Of course, me not doing it for a long time, I forget that it dries in spots. Some paint is thicker than others in spots, so I slapped a big old fingerprint on it, but you cannot tell. It's up here, it's beyond camera range. But what happens is that the paint is constantly in motion. Okay, it's always in movement, believe it or not, even though your eyes can't see it. But with the fingerprint, what happened is that after I did the fingerprint, I tried to clean it up a little bit, but it's still a fingerprint. But it moved, and it just filled in, and it really just looks like part of the painting. Okay, all right, enough of the mumbo jumbo. We're gonna get right on to it. So, hey Fatima, how are you? Yeah, she's usually on at 7. Hey Bernard, how are you? What's going on, Bernard? Nice to meet you. Eastern Standard Time, Rosemary. New York to almost to the start of the Mississippi Rivers, Eastern Standard Time. Once you cross it, I think you're going in the mountain. Then you cross again, it's in Central. Then you got, I think it's Pacific over there on the left coast. D and Roxy's a very long time for it. Oh yeah, Fatima, the Bills pulled one off. I think they had a little bit of drive, with number 3 being out of commission for a little bit, but he's improving day by day. He's lucky to be alive, that young man. But yeah, they pulled one off. Yeah, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Now, not too many people are laughing at the Bills now. These guys playing with purpose for some reason. But hey, it's all good. Fascinating game. So, well, I appreciate that. Let them know I am reading the text. I'm reading what you're writing. Okay. Hey, Tamzard, how are you? We're going to get right on to this. I know that Sonia will be on in a little more than 90 minutes to wreak havoc. All right. Once again, pretty simple painting. I'm going to see. I see that I am a little bit beyond the where I want to go with the tallest. So let's pull back a little bit more. I want to pull back enough to where you guys do see this. I should just keep it right there. I'll tilt this. Come down a little bit. Cause I'll let you guys see the whole thing in its little glory. But I want to pull back far enough to where you guys can see it, but not so far where it's kind of blurry, I think that should be all right, depending on what device you're looking at it with. All right. Okay, let's get on with this. I want to get I'll try with this. We'll see what happens. Now, the way I'm going to approach these trees, there'll probably be more like 5 of them. It's going to be an odd number of these trees. I believe I technically should have enough black paint. Yeah, I don't think so, but we're going to find out. No. Now, I can tell just by touching the paint, it's a little tacky. So we'll get some newer stuff in here. That should be enough, more or less. We'll put that black paint right there. All right, and we're gonna get to getting. I'll pull this out a wee bit. And once again, stylized trees. We're gonna get one that's a little short, more or less. Oh, we'll put it right here. Put a nice line down there like that. All right. Okay. And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the corner of the brush, and we're gonna just wipe this way. Get different sizes. I gotta sit up a little bit so I can see what the heck I'm doing. They're pretty thin. I'm doing one side. Now come over here. And I'm looking at it here. The initial strokes of the trees. Now I only got 2 pieces of tape on here. Once again, I want a little representation of the trees. And we'll slowly turn these guys a little on the green side. So we'll put one right in here. Fairly thin. Okay. I want I want the trees to have a very interesting look to them. If they butt into each other, that's fine also. I gotta move my stuff around because we do have alright, I'm looking at it from I have a 40-inch screen. So you see me looking at the camera, but I'm looking upward to the 40-inch screen there. So I'm just checking them out. I don't want to bring it past all of that. Okay. And I'm using nothing. Sure. Fatima, why not? Wait. Oh, you guys can't see it. But I got one. I'm going to put a nice tall one up here. And I'll show it to you. I'll just do it from up here. And matter of fact, I'll start it here. And you'll see it as I come down. And I'm just brushing, quick representation of this guy, one side first. And let them run into each other. It's all right. Keep going with it. And I'll have it disappear into the black that's already there. So you make your art, you make the pour work for you, work with you. Like I say, you guys don't see me doing the tippy top. Okay. But once again, we'll get these guys, this is a slightly larger fellow. And we can flare him out a little more. This is a little taller. Once again, we'll put it up in there. And we'll slowly start to get these guys small. I definitely need one that's like a super giant, and probably one, a little shorter, maybe right around in here, coming straight down like that. All right. We're gonna wave it around. Some stick out a little bit more than others. If you're worried about getting rid of or ruining some of your pore, it's not going to happen. You're not going to let it get that far like that. So panic not. Have some of the pore come in between some of those trees. It's all right. And we're going to get a smaller one. Probably right about in here. Okay. About that high. So you get a nice representation of these trees here. We are going to make them green-ish. Okay. I have to move my head. It's the glare of the varnish. There we go. Something like that. And bring it down in there. And I can make this a little darker. Like so. Bring some of that down. Alright. And I can rub and fade all of this in here. It's the varnish that's helping you do that. So make it look all smooth and dreamy like. Let's bring a little bit of love out this way. We'll brush it up like that. So a little bit of land here. Okay, just a little line there. And I can take this and go, once again, real dreamy like, and we'll fade it out like that. And this is the varnish helping you out here. Okay, real dreamy, just wave it out there. Whatever I want pretty much dark, keep it dark. And I can fade out the rest. Wipe it off. Get that little fade going there. Really dreamy. Like so. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, there's so many people doing so many creative things with these pores. I love it. And I'm learning so much. Moves Crazy. Really unique with the airbrush. Pretty cool stuff. I'm just looking at certain things. I'll let this tack up a bit. So now I'm contemplating about my my cabin here. It looks like I'm going to probably put one in here. All right. Now here's the tricky thing about painting on something like this. Now if you screw up, you can just take water and just wipe it off, no problem. Okay, well, I'll sketch out a real quick cabin. I'll just take some water and some black paint. We're gonna sketch it out real fast. Which way do I want the cabin to go? Let's put him here. And then we'll put him here. This is old freehand thing I'm doing here. Definitely freehand. My perspective and everything's gonna start right from this upside down letter V here. Okay. And then we'll take it and let's see, which way do I want to go with him? Maybe here. And we'll put him in this direction. We'll angle him out a little bit more like that. All right. Another wonderful thing about acrylic paint is that if it doesn't look exactly right for you, if it's not turning out too cool, you can it really doesn't matter where I want the top. put it right here. Okay. And then we'll just take the bottom very lightly. We'll just put the bottom right there. Put it right about here, somewhere around in there. We'll put the door somewhere around in this area. Okay, we'll slap a window right here. We might slap a little bit of a window up here. Something like that. Let's whiten that out a little bit. Even though I'm doing the freehand, still got to keep the perspective right. Okay. All right, we'll put one right here. Maybe we'll put something over here. Right about here. And slightly smaller this way, down here. Now, to get the perspective right, follow your roof line as best you can. Okay, this can actually be taller. Let's get rid of that. We'll put it right about that area right there. Okay, all right, we'll do that. Let's take some green. We'll go into here. We'll dip some of this out here. We'll see what it looks like. All right. Thick paint, no water or anything like that. We're going to pop in some grasses here. We'll go behind right there and just kind of fade it out there. Okay. And we'll come right to its edge right in here. We'll put it behind there. Okay. And I'll turn the brush around. And I'm just blocking out. Now, the reason why I'm using this thick paint because it's going to cover up some of that swirly stuff we got going on back there. And once again, I'll smooth it out. And it'll be once again like a little dreamland. And we'll just take this and we'll kind of smooth that out, blend it out. It's all right, like so. So I'm still looking at it, make sure everything's cool. And yeah, that'll work more or less. Let's take some yellow, a little touch of white. It's got green on the brush. Okay. Yeah, you gotta sometimes, well, now I'm gonna need a little more white so it can show a little bit stronger. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, you gotta do it. And I'll pop some of that in here like this. Something like that. Okay. All right. It matters, how are you? We're just doing a little embellishing and a little playing around with this acrylic pour that I've done. I'll more than likely start off with other pours, more likely. Because this is 12 by 16, so it's just large enough to fill my little pour box there. And I'll do something else with this. Okay, as I'm checking this out, I'm looking at it. Let's take a little bit of, we'll take a touch of brown. We'll put it right here. Maybe a touch of blue there, green and blue. We'll mix it real fast here. Oh, it's pretty dark. Take a little bit of white. lighten it up a bit. Okay, I like that color for a let's gray that out a bit. I like that color. It would be a nice tree color actually, but let's make some kind of grayish green, a little more brown in there. I'll just take a bit of what I have, I'll just add more brown to it, just like that. So I just broke off a piece of that green that I have. Now I'm gonna add a little white, I'm gonna turn it a lighter gray, and this will be the trunks of the pine tree. We'll spread it out like that. Get a little swipe. And we're gonna come up here where you guys cannot see it. And it's just a slight touch. This is a little too dark, but I'll help you guys out. Well, it might not be too dark. I think we're gonna be good with that. And once again, I'm fighting with a little bit of glare, which is to be expected with an acrylic pour. But when I move my head, I can clearly see it, and so can you guys. I see on the camera. The way I got the camera positioned, I have to be careful because I don't have it as far out as I used to. I'll be mindful of that. So even though I'm doing this, I can barely see it when I'm looking at it this way, but I look at the camera and I see you guys see it fine. You guys are cool. So I know I'm at least doing all right going in that direction. Let's brighten up this grass because it's in front of this. I want to make it a little darker. We'll still take a paintbrush, even a little more ratty looking, a little crazy. We're going to take a little bit of white. Come here to the green I've already made. It's like this. Okay. I'm going to get a little touch of water. I'm going to thin the paint a bit so I can get some long grasses in there. Once again, once you're doing stuff like this, it's a little more detailed. I'll come right in here from the bottom and just pull it upward like this and continue on its upward trajectory there. Bits at a time, and you want it to be different. I'll come out here, put it up in here. It's just me giving slight little pushes. We're gonna add more goodies to this. Hopefully this thing don't come apart on me, but I won't be surprised if it does, and it's okay. I'll just retape it. Don't get rid of all of the darks. Get it? Okay. Let's take a script liner brush. I'm gonna get a little touch of white. We're gonna put it right in here, brighten it up just a slight bit. We're gonna use water, not glycerin. It's not that you cannot use glycerin. I just don't want to because I want this stuff dry quickly. And we'll throw in some long grasses in here. There we go. Bring it into the other preceding grass. It gives you a sense of depth just doing stuff like this. And we're gonna go a little brighter as we move on. I'm gonna come down here toward the bottom. Hopefully my head is not too much in the way. I think it is. I'll slide over here. So I am painting kind of cockeyed, but that's all right. Some of my paintings look like they were painted by somebody cockeyed anyway, so it fits right into the narrative. Goodbye. Uh-oh. Hey, I'm doing a live stream right now. I'll give you a ring back.
Oh, okay, okay. Call me later.
All right. Bye bye. I thought I swiped it for it to go on silent, and I swiped it and it answered. Oops. That's all right. I'm going to go a little brighter. We're going to use some of this bright green here. If I can get some, I'll reactivate the paint. I'll just add a little white to it. Once again, I'm starting to, this is all about depth, even with these long grass. Get some water, make it very inky. So even in a painting like this, adds a little more depth perception. See, put the bright stuff in there like that. Hopefully, once again, that I'm not little more white. You'd be surprised how much white you would need to get that look. Because you're competing with some darker things here. There we go. And just be careful. Go in different directions. Believe it or not, it's not enough water. This is pretty thick paint, and I'm using a very thin brush. And remember, if you think it's too bright, you have to remind yourself that acrylic paint also dries a little darker than when you put it on. Okay, so keep that in mind. So as it dries, it gets a little darker. And once again, I'm just adding some depth in here, some variations. So you got the lighter grass popping around. You got the darker, deeper grass in there saying hello. Okay, stuff like that. You see, I'm not going directly to the bottom. All right. Let's put this right here. Okay, let's work on the trees here. I want, you know what, I don't want to use, let's use a flat brush of some sort. Use something a little beat down here. Watch what I'll do with a brush like this. I'll show it to you down here. We'll make our leaves with this. Whatever you use, whatever your choice is for, we'll mix it in with the white here. Whatever choice you use for a leaf brush, okay, it gives you a different look. For your leaves, I'm just using a little tiny bit of water, okay, and we'll do one of the smaller ones here, and we'll develop light sources and such. Now, because of the way it's the way I have it lit up and everything is a little awkward, but we're gonna work with it. And you just come here toward the middle and do those customary little swipes. Very light. And if it looks a little too bright, don't worry, it will darken up. Just like that. Come on the other side. And for the center, you can just tap. So give the illusion of some of those bushes are coming in our direction. So I'll start here on the bottom. You just kind of give it a front tap like that. All right. Everything else goes to the side. You tap directly, just like so. Okay, we're gonna come here from the top and aim it downward. You're gonna skip some will collect, some will catch, some will not. You do it right on the other side. Now remember, you're painting on top of, you're painting on top of varnish. Okay, bring that downward, like so. You're not getting rid of all the dark in there. Just give it a little time. Let's start with the smaller ones. We'll go over here toward the smaller guys. One nice little swipe there. Turn my brush around. I'll pop some that way. As I'm doing this, I know I'm going to be butting into this other tree, and that's fine. You keep doing it regardless. And that gives you a look. Up, trees kind of clustered together. Get some of that deeper gray, put it in there. And you're doing a representation of these pine trees. And we got that big fella. Right up on top here. And I'm pressing and I'm flicking outward. Now you can flick outward and downward, outward and out, outward and up. However you feel. Okay. That pop was some of the metal getting hot because of the space heater I got going on there. Pop some of them coming in our direction like that. Just like so. Now, we're going to go back to our palette knife. I'm going to take some white, put it in with this green, a little more white. Take a little touch of brown. All right. And we're gonna go back to adding a little bit of those branches back, or not branches, but the trunks of the trees. Mainly, I like to add them toward the bottom and toward the very top, where things get a little thin. All right. I don't really need it to be excessively bright. We're gonna go back to our tiny little fan brush. Go into a little yellow, a little touch of white, a little more white. I'll keep this paint relatively thick. And just a slight edge of wherever I might want the light source to be. I guess I'll have it up here. You guys are not going to see it too well until I come down a little further. Very, very lightly. Okay. And as I come slowly downward, popping a few, going that way. I don't have to add as many, as long as it relays where the light source is coming from. Okay. We're gonna come over here, do the same thing. Right over here. I won't put it all over the place. On a few of them, I'll keep them. Because anything that's brighter is gonna come up toward the front, so we'll keep a couple of them in a little shadow back there. Let's take a little touch of blue. I'll add a touch of blue with this gray stuff. A little more blue. Okay, and we're gonna add a little touch of shadow on the other side. We'll add some of that blue over here on a couple of them, just to bring them back a little further. Okay. Let's do a little bit of that over here. Like that. Which in turn brings out these fellows. All right. I'm gonna put some more to put this in front of those trees there. Go back into our slender little brush. I'm gonna make them a little brighter. Put it right in here. Make them a little taller, a little brighter, and we're gonna come right in front of those. Just like that. And put them in there. And these long grasses will, believe it or not, push those large trees a little further back. Give it enough of them, push them back. And I don't necessarily have to bring them all the way down, not necessarily, but maybe in front of the trees. It just pushes the trees back. These little skinny, light, little brush strokes will take those and boot all those trees back. We'll put some tall ones a little straighter up here and some right here in here. Like that. So I'm still staring at things, still checking things out. Carolina, how are you? It's good to see you. I don't see it because I don't see you too much, but I check out some of those clips of yours. The one that kind of sticks out in my mind is that snake on the porch deal. Yeah, I tend to remember that one. What was up with that, bro? You know, we in the States have squirrels. You guys got snakes on the porch? Okay. So we got our trees. I want my trunks to be a little lighter. So we'll get a little touch of white. A bit of brown in there. Actually, I don't want that color. Let's get rid of that color in general. Let's go a little brown and white. We'll marble it like that. Come across. I just want them to stick out a little bit. All right. I know you guys don't see it up top here, but you're gonna see it midway. Now it is a marbled color, so it will stick out. And I make them a little thicker. We'll put one right here. We'll skip one. All right, right up on top, like so. I don't have to do too much more with that. I'll bring some a little bit more. All right, I like that. That's cool. I can even make pretend there's another one there, so we'll just kind of pop one right here. So it makes it look like there's more trees than there actually is. So just throw another one in there. We'll put one down on the bottom here, just to give it a little press, right about there. All right, so we got our trees here. We're gonna brighten up the lawn a wee bit more, just a wee bit more. I'll take some of this white, go into the yellow. And we'll brighten up a section right up in here. Right up on this edge there. All right, right here behind the house a little bit. Put a little bit of something there. We'll wipe that out. Okay. You know what I can do also? Watch what I'm going to do here. I just thought about it right now. Watch what I'm going to do. Look down here. Watch this. Without even trying too hard, we're going to make a reflection. I don't have to have a reflection of what you see, but just to make it look like water. Why not? Why not? Why to the not? Let's scrape some of this away. I don't need this. Let's just get some pure white. We'll pop it right there real quick. All right, we'll come here. Well, we'll just come over here. Keep it level. Watch. And we'll swim it around just like that. Look at this. Look what I do here. See how simple this is? I'll just come over here. I'll do it on the other side. I'll just give it a press. And we'll just have it meet that way like that. And here we go. We're going to do it again right here. Right up, well, not enough white to show. Right up in here. Just like so. Bring that outward. All right. We're going to do it again right here. Bring it out. Bring it out a little wider. Come out here. Just like that. And we'll make it swim around here. Come right to the side here. Make it a bright white. Come out to the side. I can get away with this because my base coat is not white, it's the eggshell color, which is why you can see the titanium white on top of this. Okay, but look what we have now. Just like that. Just like that. Now you got a reflection. Now you got water. Good Lord, never mind, bro. You stay out there. Nah. Or you put a spike chain on it and give it a color, name it Fido or something. No, you can keep that. But yeah, it's a different life over there in the Philippines, you know. But yep, he found himself a lovely lady and he's living his life, got a house built out there. So, you know, I am not mad at him. Yo, man, as long as you're happy as a clam. But it's good to hear from you. It's good to know that you stop by and say, hey. And you guys talk about the time difference. Yeah. Ask him what time it is down there. You know. Now that's a time difference. Okay. We're going to start on the cabin. Go up with a little bit of the brown. We'll do the brown and white mix. We'll just kind of mix it up here. Not much white left, but we'll get something going. Okay, so we're gonna come here. Oh, palette knife, and we're gonna drag it down there. I don't have to worry about that right now. Talk about the old Bob Ross method. This is definitely it. Once again, you can fabricate this. You can do what you. The good thing about acrylic is that you can paint right over. You can paint right over the pour. You can paint over the black marker there, or the black paint. Paint right over it. It's all right. Oh. Need more white paint. Yeah, it takes a little getting used to. I know it did. Little culture shock or whatever, but he's making it happen, and I am happy for him. But yeah, he used to have his channel, and I used to sit there and check him out, listen to him, say hey, me, Bruce, some of the others. And yes, he does have a strong southern drawl. He is from Carolina, no doubt. So it was fun. We're gonna make something that it just takes a touch. This is definitely the Bob Ross version of a cabin. No doubt. And we're gonna, well, let's do it this way first. There we go. Just like so. All right. We're gonna take a nice slender brush. We're gonna get our look of the log cabin. I'm gonna take a 1/2-inch brush that holds a pretty decent soft edge. Get some of this marble up paint. And we're gonna come here. And we're gonna pop these guys in there. And you'll see what I'm gonna do here. Right now I'm just throwing on this paint. One, to cover up the pour. And you'll see how I'll do the log look. All cutesy little techniques you can learn and use for yourself. And just like acrylic paint, it will dry in this acrylic paint fashion. I'm just returning some of that white to the let's go with some more deeper brown. I'm gonna add a little touch of black to that brown for the what I'll make as the darker side of the house, which will be here. And I'm not gonna keep the paint all nice and smooth. No, we won't do that. Make it really choppy, a little darker. Put that paint on there, and I really am concentrating on texture more than anything else. Can you guys see me do this? Yes, somewhat. We're gonna move some of that paint around. So even in a painting like this, you have to have a distinct light and dark side. Okay. Once again, just moving the paint around. Let it tack up a bit. All right. Yeah, his life. 6:57 a.m. Okay. Well, it's a little past. Well, he's. What is he? What are you? 13 hours ahead of us. No, he's a whole day ahead of us. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something a little different. Let's take some white. We'll play around the only way that I usually know how to play around. Let's take some yellow and white. Okay, let's add some life here. Right in the window area. Watch what I'm going to do. Now, we're going to have to let the paint tack up a touch as we do this. We got one there. And keep in mind still even though this is freehand, but still keep in mind the perspective. Okay. We're going to do something a little different. Usually I usually black out the windows or whatever, but let's do something else. Let's do a little something else today. Because we're not adding much more than just this cabin. That's it. We've got our water reflection. We got our long grass. We got our tall trees. We're going to get our cabin situated, get it straight. All right. So we're going to let that yellow tack up a touch. Let's get some black, a little bit of water. We're going to twirl the brush around. And we're going to pop in the logs in between here. All right. You don't have to make a straight line going all the way across. You don't need to do that. But once again, make them thick enough and enough of a pattern that where your eyes can visualize and see that you do have a log cabin there. Hopefully you guys can check this out. You guys are seeing this. Now I went a little downward on that one. No problem. We'll just correct that like that. And we'll put one here to even it out. So in case you make somewhat of an error, you can always, once again, kind of fix that. All right. We're going to come here, slightly going the other way. Very coyly. Just like that. Now, once I get here, match it up with the other lines. You're going slightly downward. If I mess up, I'll just wipe it away and do it all over again. No big deal. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to take a touch of white. Because this is the lit side, and we're going to go a little bit of white above the black, if you can. And it's just to let everybody know this is more or less the lit side here. I'm doing it just above the black marks, all right? And it helps you straighten all that out, like so. You know what side is the lit side here. All these cute little slick things that, you can do, all right? Still looking, still checking things out. We'll go with a darker brown door over here. Right up in here. All right. Like so. Let's take some more black and come over here. Pop some windows in here. All these little things make it look like it's lived in currently right now. There's somebody in there making a nice kettle of tea or cooking a snake that was on the porch or something. something like that. Okay. And let us put right about here. Right around in here somewhere, we'll pop a little chimney thing going on here. I'm just taking a little bit of white and black. We'll make it a little light gray. We'll just put over here. Right there like that. It's just a representation. Just like that. All right. We're not done yet. Let's take a little white, a little water. We're just going to come here. Just like this. I know you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. I know you are. And you take it, you stir it around, make it. Because remember, you guys are using, this is, got varnish on it. So you make it all smoky looking. See that? And you can build up on this if you would like, up to you, how far you want to go with it. Okay. But now it looks like somebody does live there, but we're not done yet. Gotta let it tack up a little bit more. Okay. Let's come back in here. Let's do a little separation of some of these trees. I'm just gonna take a little touch of black and this thin brush. And we're gonna come in and we'll add some little guide marks there, here and there. Just to separate the trees a bit. Okay. Well, just a bit here and there, just a few. Just to outline a few a little bit better. Okay. And that's all I'm doing. Outline these things, smooth it out. You don't have to have it as sharp if you don't want to. All about how you feel, all about the look. You know, what you're trying to convey. All right. You getting lag, Linda? Is anybody else getting lag? Now, why, Sonia? Why you got to go ahead and agree with her like that? Anybody else lagging? Let me know. Everything seems to be okay here. Oh, I see what happened. I can see what happened. Why is this so high? I see. Yeah, I see what's going on. It's my CPU. I can see it. It's going red, green. So it is lagging for whatever reason. Now we're almost done, but I do see why it's lagging. But I do see it changing colors. But I'm looking at it right now. It's doing all that color change to see why it's doing that. It's gonna show me. Nope. But I can see it doing it. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost out of here. We're at like 98%. Okay. All right. As I'm looking at things, and things are starting to dry up here on the painting, is what I'm referring to. I am going to take the smallest amount of green I can muster out of here, a lot more white. All right. I just want to have a little more of a separation with the greens here. Okay, so it needs to be brighter still. And so we're gonna really put that bright stuff out there. Okay. I'll go a little slower so it catches. I just want it a little brighter. Still keep within the frame of the color. Come in here, add some of that. And it's really just putting it in there a little slower. Like that, just to push it out there a little bit more. Okie dokie. Now for our final bit. Thank you, It Matters. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. I'm gonna be a little slick, a little coy here. So we got our yellow here, right? I need a slightly smaller brush than this 1/2 inch, so we'll play with this little fella. It's almost window size there. We can get away with it. Let's take a little touch of white, some of that yellow we have. Play around with it a little bit, brighten it up. Then, ironically, brush most of it off. Now we are on this slick stuff, okay? So we're gonna come here very lightly, get a nice little sunbeam going. A little sunbeam there. So we got one out there. I can probably get away with it to be a little lighter. All right, and we're gonna get a little spot right up in there like that. So we got a little spot. We got one right here. Just like that. Okay, and you got some on the other side. We're gonna go on the other side like this. A little more. And remember, you're doing this pretty much on that slick surface out. Like that. Just add a touch of white so it can be seen a little better. But very coy, very lightly you do it. And, brush it up. Get the little window spots in there. Okay. But that's all you need to do. All right. Well, light from yonder window breaks. Okay. Let me let me sneak my name in here somewhere. You know what? I'll just put my name in the weeds here. Let people find it. There. All I need to do for that. If they look hard enough, they'll find it. Well, my name is in there. I guess I can have that number 1 be a little more. We can show the little number 1 a little bit better. And a 3. There we go. Put this in there in the grass. All right. We're going to pull the whole thing back. Have you guys check it out. 12 by 16. I believe I only got one frame that can do it justice, I believe. Just sit back a little bit. Let's get rid of this because we're at the end here. We'll put it on its full frame here. And you can see how wide it is. I know it's out of focus a little bit. We'll try to straighten it up as best we can here. And we put it in focus for you. But that's what she's looking like for right now. All right. So it looks like we're doing all right. Okay, I'm gonna pull back a little more so I can throw a frame on it and show you guys what it looks like with the frame. I don't think I have to. I just have to come down a little more, straighten it. So if you guys get a little dizzy, I'm sorry. Only one frame I think we can get away with. I think it's the black frame. A little bit. No. Nope, it's a little too small. What do I have? I know I got something big enough for this. I thought I did. Oh, this might be too wide. I think oh no, there it is. It's right on the floor. This one will do it. And we can get away with it with this guy a little bit. All right, so it would look something like that, more or less. All right, if we put it in a frame, it would look like that. Okay, I know I had a frame that was kind of close to it. Okay, like I said, this is 12 by 16. This is an 11 by 17 frame, but it will look something like that. All right, but it is, you know, a painting with incorporated into the pour, and I wanted my giant trees in there. Okay. Yeah, nothing more really to say about it. The majority of it is already dry, I believe. Yeah, I know this is dry. Okay, still damp here, but I think all this is dry. Only the roof, a little bit of the roof is wet. So I give it a few more minutes, the whole thing will be dry, and I have to re-varnish it all over again. So it'll all look more like glass, you know, shiny and stuff. But before I can actually do that, I have to take a picture of it in a way that the glare won't be too much. And I'll take a hopefully a pretty decent photo of this before I varnish it again. Because once this is that pour, Linda. This is the pour that I posted on Facebook yesterday sometime. I believe it was yesterday. But yeah, this is that pour. And I just threw a painting in there. And it was just really trees, grass, and a cabin. That's it. Everything else helps what I put on there out. Okay. The water is just something I just added in there. All right. And what helps it is really the beginning of the pour here. And then that weird color kind of matches the cabin, so it all fits without actually painting anything in there. So it all just works. Okay. So, yeah, pretty cool. And until somebody's interested, it'll be sitting well, maybe I'll hang it somewhere around here, but it'll be sitting on top of my brand new bin, just like the rest of them. Like I say, I may do a few more pours. I gotta look for a large enough box, so maybe I can do like more than one pour, but we'll see. I'll try something with it, but we'll see. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. I shall see you guys when I see you. You guys got a little bit of a break before you go over there and laugh it up with Sonia. Hillbilly, it was a pleasure to see you, as always. Hey, Doris. Just in time for the end, Doris. The very end, as a matter of fact. But I'll post this on my Facebook page. I have to make a thumbnail and everything and be posted on Instagram. Okay. And I might see you guys over there at Asania's, depending on what I have to do, or I have to take the old mud out for the night. But I shall see you guys. Yeah, you're really late because I'm about to shut it down. But this is a swipe pour I've done very recently. From paints that I have not used in years. And just when it fully dried, I varnished it. And I just put the trees, the grass, and the cabin in. Okay. The water lines are a bonus that I just but as I was looking at the painting, I see that I could get away with it because of the beginning pour. It just happens to match. Okay, it's just, you know, luck would have it. As I looked at it, it happens to match, so I just took advantage of it. But all right, I shall see you guys when I see you. Take care, or I'll see you over at Sonia's, depending on what time I get back. All right, take care, everybody, and peace.